Hey, welcome back to the channel. Hey, I'm here at Octane and Iron shooting a badass Camaro over here. And then there's a Ford truck in here. But here I am with Homewrecker. But most people, the #1 question on my channel is whatever happened to the Corvair van? And there you go, right here it is. And it has seen better days. Drove it 170,000 miles in 4 years, and just recently the roof peeled on it, which is super sad. But all the blue graphics on the side of Homewrecker was to mimic the roof on the Boogie van. So I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough on something that I did that was really stupid, which was drive this 170,000 miles with no heat, no AC. Went to Detroit Autorama twice, went to SEMA 3 times, 3 different paint jobs for SEMA. Mitch Henderson, my great friend, bagged this for me, and my buddy Kevin Pettit painted it. And for as many miles on it and just sitting like it has, it actually looks pretty good. Can be fixed, but let me show you some cool stuff. So it used to be every time I photographed a car, I would let that person sign the doors. So there's actually some really cool stuff. So it actually had and also it had a really badass kicker stereo in it. And then the guy's son who was building the motor for this for me actually stole the stereo out of it. So there's holes in the doors and all that stuff. But Fletch and the guys at Kicker did a great job building the stereo. But you can see it was the Boogie van. All the dashes laced and paneled. Back when Kevin worked at Razor Graphics, had a nice XM stereo, moon pedal. Has my artwork on the wall. I'll open these doors here in just a second, show you some of the cool stuff in here. I mean, it's like a time capsule. I should have come over. Here's one of the cool things too. Max Grundy actually drew some spaceships. This is drawn in a cornfield in Iowa after Torque Fest 2012. Lamorris, some really good. My buddy Tukey, the painter, painted here. I saw a good one on here, like there's Jason Runsfork. Gene Winfield signed it in 2010. I know Chip Fusa signed it. Brian Bass signed it. People wrote a lot of cool stuff on there. Josh Clayson from Death of Speed, Hot Dog. Josh Clayson's the one that shot the high mileage video of it that was on Discovery Channel on Garage Dreams Season 3. So a lot of people know this van from that. And I just got done doing like a 5,000–6,000 mile road trip in it then. I know Jesse James has signed it. Let's see, I know Dan Baker from Illumicraft signed it here. Bobby Alloway signed it right here. Let's see, all kinds of cool stuff. One of the ones that's really good on it is, I noticed this a while ago when we had the door open, is Gary Howard signed it in 2008. And I wouldn't even be into customs like I am if it wasn't for Gary Howard. And Gary has passed away. But he built Jimmy Vaughn's Riviera, and that's like one of my favorite cars of all time. And I wouldn't even be into flake and 60s customs. This van would have never been like this if it wasn't for Gary Howard. And just inspiration I got when I was younger. John Beebe from Drop 'em Ware, like I said, Tukey. There's just so much stuff. I could probably do a whole video of just going down. But people would draw cool artwork on this and everything. And Johnny O, one of our photography friends. Keith Wiesner signed it in 2008. We did Power Tour in 2010 with it, and that, you know, so we got signed there. Man, it's just so much cool stuff. Let me show you. Let's see what we can find in here. I haven't opened this thing in forever. So look, this is how much I shoot a lot of cars. So you see lots of Jeff Norwell. Jeff Norwell signed it. Jimmy Vaughn signed it right there. Von Franco signed it and drew on it. A lot of cool stuff. You know, the Rumblers, went to the Rumblers show with it in New York City. Like I said, 170,000 miles in 4 years with it. So went to a lot of car shows, met a lot of friends. A lot of people really know me from this van. Just trying to see what else I see on here, but there's so much cool stuff on this. And so Ernie from No Regrets, it used to be my editor at Mini Truckin' that passed away. His signature's up there. But yeah, so we have artwork on the side, had a complete custom bedwood floor in it. My friend Dustin, maybe his mom works for Tennessee at the sign department, maybe a not stock photo sign for it. Man, I got so much stuff. Oh, our great friend Todd Jones drew this for it. There was the O'Brien Truckers Lone Star Throwdown piece in it. I should take a lot of this stuff to the house. I can't even believe I have all this stuff in here. But this is that original Jones piece. Someone gave me a 1964 Texas tag for it. We won this trophy here in 2008. It was Phantom's pick at Pistons and Paint the first year we went. Also, you can see Hudson's Rod and Custom did us this badass seat for it. Helped us with the headliner in it. I know there is actually another really special trophy in here somewhere. Air tanks back here. It is all still Corvair powered. When I did all those miles, it was 102 horsepower. Let me see. Maybe it's under here. This thing is definitely a time capsule. So yeah, I got artwork in here. Plow Fink's car we shot out in a cornfield. Let me come back here to the back. I got so much junk in here. Believe it or not, I used to sleep in this thing instead of sleeping in a Sprinter van. Let's see. I know there's, well, somewhere in here, Dan Webb did a, we got his pick, I think it was 2011 at Detroit Autorama for being in the basement. But let's see what else we got on the doors on this side. Yeah, here's some more artwork on the doors. People just drew all kinds of cool stuff. Again, stolen stereo. Oh yeah, so Charlie Hutton drew on the side of it here for a good time call. Yeah, there's so much signatures on it. Like, this thing's legit. But like I said, that's the #1 question people ask me on YouTube and on Instagram is where the van is. Here it is. It's eventually, we're gonna try and get it back to the house in Burnet, Texas, and try and get it back on the road. Of course, I won't drive it as much as I drive home wrecker here, because, you know, we get used to driving so many miles with, you get a shower and all other fun stuff versus just sleeping in the back of a van. I mean, you can see the size difference. One's 10'2", the other one's 5'2". So, but yeah, ran a badass set of rocket wheels. Mitch Henderson actually painted the centers on it. We really miss Mitch. We actually, when Mitch bagged this, we test drove it 7 miles around Rockwell, Texas, then drove it all the way to Nashville, and in the middle of the night rolled into Nashville Friday morning at like 10 o'clock. This thing's 60 miles an hour everywhere we went, and yeah, it was just cool. I mean, it's yeah, it made us debut at Nashville with airbags on it. Like I said, been to SEMA, been to Detroit, but it definitely it's definitely been a trusted piece of not stock photography history, and I wouldn't be where I am today without this Corvair van. But everybody wanted to know where it is. Here it is. You can be mad at me for the roof peeling, which that happened because the guy who built the motor for it just left it sitting outside and it got some moisture underneath the lid. And the guys at Octane and Iron here were nice enough. They kept it inside the building and stuff, and they pulled it outside and everything, and eventually it just got water underneath it and it peeled the roof on it. But that's just but for the most part, it's pretty solid. I want to find that trophy from Dan Webb. I got so much crap in here. Oh yeah, so when Randy painted it, we did the Autorama with it, and he made a fake original window sticker for it with the VIN number and all that stuff on it. That's in here. There's the air cleaner covers. It might be underneath the floor. Oh, here it is. Perfect. Yeah, so Dan Webb's gonna be mad at me because these things, when Dan makes these things, are perfectly polished and beautiful. And as you can see, it's rusted. The cool thing is Josh Shaw, who's one of my favorite painters, he actually pinstriped this, and I think I'm gonna put this in the Sprinter and take it on the road with me, and it's pretty cool. But yeah, we got that at Detroit 2011, and Dan Webb was like, he goes, I hate to say this, and I don't think this would ever come out of my mouth, but my pick at this show is a Corvair. And I was just blown away that, you know, Dan and Corey and Ashley have become really good friends, but I just started hanging out with them then. It was just awesome to win this thing. But they gave it to me because I drove it from Houston, Texas, all the way to Detroit Autorama in the winter. In fact, we had some friends pass us on the way to Detroit, and I had all kinds of stuff shoved into the drain or into the vents and all that stuff. And they were like, how are your windows not fogged up? It's like 20 degrees outside. And I was like, well, it's as cold inside this van as it is outside the van. So, but yeah, this is just a quick walk through the van and got all the cool stuff we got in it. But just wanted to show you guys where it's at, and it does still exist. Still has all the signatures and everything on it. And thanks to the guys at Octane and Iron for keeping a lookout on it for me. But we will be getting it back to the house in Texas here before too much longer. And then we might wind up buying another van and then taking all the doors and all the parts off of this and making a good another running driving van and make it like our Texas show vehicle when we go around shows in Texas and stuff like that. But thanks for following. Just wanted to give you a little history, because if you're not familiar with this van, this is where I started. Like I said, 4 years, 170,000 miles in this, 102 horsepower, 65 mile an hour if I'm lucky. But yeah, it's a good old friend, and just wanted to show it to you guys. And of course the guys next door are setting their alarm off. But yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys the van. It's a good old friend. It's the Boogie van. But if you got to sign this van, thanks a lot. Your signature is still there. Yeah, it's just been really good. Good old friend. And thanks for following us. Still hope to have a ton more miles in Home Wrecker. And I guess that's it. But thanks to Chuck and Lane for keeping an eye on this for me.